Okay. So it is very important topic actually because we should know in which situation which table we have to use. Okay. Table in the sense, okay, the syntax and the uh, use case is different for different tables. As of now, we have discussed only the normal table what we have created, right? Now we are going to discuss about the different tables. Okay, what is the use case of the table? Okay, let's see. Let me share my screen. Okay, okay. So in general, everywhere you will have a different types of tables. Okay, it is not like that only Snowflake has the different tables, but we do have other databases also contains the different types of tables. Okay, and here mainly, okay, we have a permanent table and a temporary table, transient table, external table, and dynamic table. Okay, so these five types of tables we have in Snowflake, and each table will have their own use case and advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so now we will see, we know already how we have created the table, right? So here also same syntax, there is no difference, only some changes needs to do while creating the table. Okay, and now coming to the permanent table. Okay, so as you have seen here, create table, okay, table name and the column names and their respective data types. Okay, and if it is a length. This is the normal table. It is called a permanent table. So what is the use of this table means? If you see the purpose here, right? Okay. Long-term data storage, critical business data, and data requiring historical tracking and recovery. Okay. So this is the three options I have considered the purpose. Okay. So now we will discuss where it is useful and why we need this. Okay. Now, whatever we are talking about permanent table means, okay. So this table for historical purpose at any time you can able to view the data and even you can view the table as well. Okay, it means some of the tables at the time session open, till that time only those tables will be available. But now this permanent table, what it is actually, whenever, even though if you close, okay, you will have the table and the data. Okay, this is called a permanent table. Okay, and this is useful for long time purpose. Okay, and here always what will happen, for storage cost also you need to pay, because this here permanently you will be storing the data. Okay, and because of that, right, you need to pay money for the services. Okay, wherever either you are uh, going through the uh, Snowflake or you are going through the Azure. It depends how you are going to take the subscription accordingly. Okay, you are going to pay the money. Okay, so for this one, whenever we have discussed already, right, computation and the storage. Okay, so here we need to pay for the storage. Okay, that is very important actually. Hmm? Okay, so this is the permanent table, and we will see the example as well. Okay, and here whatever means any historical data, years of data, that also you can easily maintain here for your business purpose. Okay, if you are not maintaining this permanent tables, what will happen, you cannot able to do the business analysis, you cannot able to do the historical data. So that kind of things, it is very important, right? So if you want to see the historical data, and if you want to estimate current quarter data, how much it would be, and previously what type of I mean how much profit we gain. So this kind of things, we can estimate by using this data. So that is the reason what we do. Internally, we maintain always this kind of tables to track historical purpose. Okay. So this is the syntax. You know already. Okay. Now coming to the temporary table. Okay. By name itself, you can see temporary table. Okay. By name itself, you can able to understand. Okay. This is kind of a intermediate table. I mean temporary table. So if you see the purpose here, right? Okay, short-term data processing within a session. This is very, very important. Okay, for example, what I will do, I will log in the Snowflake, okay, and I'll create a temporary table, and then I will store the data till the session open, right? Till that time, the data will be there. Okay. If you sign off and if you close the session, again, if you reopen, right? What will happen? The data won't be there. Okay. It means whatever the data stores in the temporary table, till the session is open, till that time only the data will be available. It is not going to store the data permanently in a database. Why? Because there are some situations you just need the data for certain time. That's it. Okay. After that, you don't require the data. At that time, this kind of temporary tables is very, very useful. So in Snowflake, we can create temporary table. Okay. So here, if you see permanent table, generally normal table, what is the syntax you see? Create table, table name. Okay. For temporary table, create temporary table, table name. And the always whenever you are creating a table, right? Okay, for temporary table you use temporary or something. You need to give a some kind of intimation of the table by seeing the name itself. You need to understand, yes, this is the some temporary table kind of understanding you need to have. So for that, what we need to do, naming standards are very, very important. Okay. So if you are going through like that, right, it is very, very useful. And this temporary table, if you see here, I have created one more example. So now you see in the temporary table, create temporary table, okay, a table name as select star from raw data where transaction date greater than 2023-01. So till from 2023 onwards, January 1st onwards, I am storing the data into temporary filter data table. Okay. And this data I am using as a source. If you see here, temp filtered data, and then I am aggregating the data and storing the data into a one another table, temporary aggregated data. After that, I am selecting the data from the temporary aggregate table. Okay. So this is kind of temporary. This is kind of a temporary table where I am storing the data. Okay. Whatever the data here I have stored in this temporary filter table or temporary aggregate data table, right? This data will be there till the session is open. If I close and if I come out, right, then the data won't be there in this table. Okay. Why? Because see the situation here, you know, for example, you need to do some kind of validation till the session is open. And then if you don't require that kind of details, then it is better, right? So what is the advantage of this temporary table here is, okay, if you see the example, a temp stage data table holds data during a data transformation process. Only till that time it is available. So because of that, what will happen? You don't require to pay money for the storage. Why? Because you are not going to store this data permanently. Okay. So this is also we will see with the examples. And I have collected few information, okay, which is help for a interview purpose as well. Okay. So now if you see, I have taken, I mean, some examples also have taken. Here if you see, for example, Okay, data loss. Okay, a user performs a series of data transformation in temporary table, but forget to transfer the final result to permanent table. It means what? Okay. So for example, you have created temporary table and you have applied some filter conditions and you aggregated the data. Okay. And then you are just viewing the data and just checking the results. In case tomorrow also same data if you want to see, then what you need to do, this data you need to store into the normal permanent table. Then only tomorrow also you can able to see the data. Otherwise what will happen, you are going to lose the data, because what we discussed a temporary table, the data will be available till the session is open. If the session is closed, then you will not find any data as well. That is the main important. Okay, and if you see here, limited data sharing. What is limited data sharing means? Okay, already you are using the temporary table, and if someone is trying to use the same table data, then for them, right, it cannot be accessed actually. So that is the we have a problem actually. Okay, two analysts are working on a collaborative project. One analyst created temporary table with a crucial data, but other analyst cannot access it because it is limited to the first analyst session. Because actually why this is, because for example, and myself and Venu is there. Okay, we are working together in office. Okay, I opened my session and Venu also opened another session, for example, because he logged in his credentials, I logged in with my credentials. So if I created a temporary table, he cannot able to access. Why because this temporary table used within the session, my session itself, right? So in case if he wants, then he has to create a some temporary table, other temporary table. But project wise, okay, same same temporary table we will be running or we will be using. That is different case, because no one will access multiple members at the same time, right? Okay. Here, this is especially session wise. At the session is open, till that time only data will be available. For example, you have a stored procedure. Under stored procedure, you created some temporary tables, and finally you loaded the data into a permanent table, for example. Hmm? Okay. The data, once a stored procedure is execution is completed, and if you are trying to check the data in temporary table, you will not find. Why? Because the session is opened till that stored procedure ends. Okay. Once the stored procedure ended, closed, and you cannot able to see the data in temporary tables. But permanent table, yes, at any time, if you want after 1 year also, after 2 years, okay, whatever the data present, the data can be visible. Okay. So this is a temporary table use case. And the main advantage here is, okay, cost we need to check. Okay. If you see here, pricing. Hmm. Here. Okay. So temporary cost. So for temporary table, do contribute to the overall storage charges that Snowflake bills to your account. Here, especially, they will not charge for the permanent storage, how they charge, right? Similarly, there is no, they will not charge like that. So, see, finally, we need to see the benefit, okay? Whether are we going to get some benefit or not. If we are going to get a benefit, then it is useful to create a temporary table. Finally, okay, what we do, final tables like SCD, okay, dimension tables or our fact tables. These are all we require for historical purpose, for the analysis purpose, right? But there are some intermediate tables which we will create, okay? In case if we don't have any complex logic, or it is just pass through, and if you want to pass the data through the tables, at that time better you go with the temporary table. Don't need actually to have the data here. okay, permanently. Because whatever the data you are going to store in the table, in stage tables, okay, that time what will happen? You need to pay the data, pay money for that table also. Okay, how? I'll explain you. Okay, now consider this is your file. Okay, this is your file. Hmm? In file, you have the data. Hmm? Okay, this is your file. You are loading the data into stage table. Okay, you are loading the data into stage table from file to data you are loading here. And this is your stage. After stage, again, you are loading the data into dimension table. Hmm? Okay, you are loading the data into dimension table. So now, what is the use here is this is stage. Hmm? And this is your dim table. Hmm? Let me increase the size. Okay, leave it. Okay, here generally you do flush and fill, and you do here either it is incremental, I mean a delete and insert or update and insert, whatever you do here. So here, when you load the data into stage table, and if you have any other intermediate table, for example, okay, at that time, if you are going to create a permanent table, instead of that, if you create a temporary table, that also fine. Why? Because just when you create a this temporary table, so till the session is available, till that time, the data will be loaded. After the data loaded into from stage to dimension, once your stored procedure completed, the data won't be there in the stage table. So that you are not going to pay the money for entire next 23 hours or 22 hours, whatever it depends, right? For the job completion. So if you are created a permanent table and you can store the data here permanently, okay? If you are not touching, the data will be there as it is, correct? If you are touching, the data will be there, updates will happen, whatever it does. So instead of that, if you create a temporary table here, you are not going to pay the money, okay? Here, either you load the data, either you keep the data, whatever. If you just stores the data, you need to pay money. Finally, what we do, we will check how much amount I am paying and where I am improving. Okay. In this case, this stage tables are very, very useful. Only the thing is, only the thing is, okay, here you cannot able to recover the data by using the time travel. Okay, so temporary tables can have a time travel retention period of either 0 or 1 day. Okay, 0 means what will happen? You will not. We need to check if we create a time travel whether do we have a 1 day or nothing. That we need to see. And this fail safe concept also we will not have. So here also if you see a significant difference between temporary table and permanent table is that temporary table do not incur fail-safe cost. Fail-safe is Snowflake disaster recovery feature. It associates storage contribute to the cost of permanent table only. Okay, one second. Huh? Okay, so this is how you have only the thing is okay. Performance wise, yes, I agree. Okay, compared to other tables, this will have a better performance. And here you need to think the storage cost also. Okay. So you need to think, okay, in which situation I have to use the temporary table. In which situation I have to use the permanent table. I say, okay, permanent tables always you need to use for fact and dimensions, 100%. Okay, wherever you are creating a table, if that requires for entire day or next day or future, then go with the permanent tables. And intermediate tables, in case if you don't want to, if you are not going to check those tables, and you are okay to just to query the data and see if you want to see the results, at that time better you go with the temporary table, so that here drastically you will save the cost. Because now this cloud based databases, it will charge for pay and use, correct? If you pay the money, you can use that much. Means if you are using for 1 hour, you have to pay for 1 hour. Storage cost is different. Okay. Accordingly, you need to go with this kind of concepts. Okay. And we have, see, even you can, if you want, you can drop the table also. For this temporary tables also you can drop. But generally, once you log in this session, whether you keep or not, it does not matter, right? If you are deleting or not, also it does not matter. Okay. So this is the very important of the temporary table. Okay. And we have a transient table. Okay. This transient table also it's the same, but only the thing is this data will be there for a certain period. Okay. If you want to delete the table, and later also you can delete the data. Okay. This is also we will see how we can practically see these tables. Okay. Like this, we do have, okay, permanent table. Okay. And another one is temporary table. And then, okay, transient table. This transient table, if you see the purpose, intermediate data that persists beyond a session. Beyond a session is nothing but temporary table. What it is, until unless if you have a open that session, till that time only the data will be available. Okay, but transient table it is not like that. It is quite different. Okay, so this data will be there. Like similarly, it is a permanent table. Okay, but only the thing is data that does not require a failsafe. Failsafe, okay, you will not have any choice. That is the thing. Okay. And we have a external table. Already we discussed this external table is used for S3 buckets or Azure blob location or GCP, whatever, right? Externally the file or location will be there, and you are indirectly, I mean, reading through the some configurations, and you will be seeing in the table format, external tables. Okay, so that also we will discuss go forward. Okay, and dynamic tables. Okay, now let's try to log in. Okay, Snowflake, and see how we can practice. I think I don't have. I think I lost this. Okay. So here when we log in, right, for the new subscription, so we will get something like for 3 months, right? How we need to do that for student? Hmm? Where? Let me open this. Okay. So when sign up, when we do sign up, right? Flash. What we need to do? We need to give anything with us after slash student or how? Hello? Venu?
Hello?
Hmm.
Yeah, no, it's not. I think equal student.
Hmm? I'm
Equal
not able to
student.
hear you.
Star.
Equal?
Equal student.
Here, right?
Yes.
Oh, 1 minute. Let me go here. Shit. 1 second. Snowflake. Hmm.
Anna,
Hmm.
yeah, check and comment box.
Okay. 1 minute. Snowflake trial. Yes. Right. If you use this link, okay, you can able to get a 3 months. No. This is my new login. Okay. No. Here. Demo. Let me give SF underscore demo. Okay. SF demo. Pass. Okay. 14 14. Okay. Let's create. Hmm. Okay. Okay. 119 days. Otherwise, we used to see only few days, right? Okay. Now, what we will do? Okay. We will go to the SQL worksheet. Okay. And here we have already data, right? What I will do, I'll create a database. Okay. New database. Okay. Demo. Plus demo. Okay. Create. Database created. Schema. I'll create a schema. Plus demo underscore schema. Underscore database. Okay. I created a this total database. Now I'll go to the worksheet. In this worksheet, I'll go here and I'll take this schema. Okay. And then rest of demo schema information. I'll go here, Snowflake database. Okay. I'll go here. I'll take the catalog page or call center. Copy name. Okay. Now I'm in SF demo scheme in my scheme. Okay. I'm creating a permanent table. Create table. Okay. Uh, stage underscore call center data. Call center hmm, as what I'm doing. Select a star from. Okay. So create table name as select star from this data. So now I'm just creating a this permanent table. I'll execute. Okay, table got created. Now, similarly, what I will do, I'll create a temporary table. Create temporary table. Okay, name you say, I'll give same as it is, but just at the end, what I will do, I'll use the TMP. Okay, now I'm just creating the table created. Now I will view the data, select sharp temp. Okay. Data is loaded in temporary table as well as I'll check permanent table as well. This is my permanent table, right? Here I can see. Okay. Now, after that, what I will do, I'll take the count of temporary table. How many records are there? Hmm? 60 records. Even permanent table also I'll check. Okay, here we have this. Hmm? Okay, now what I will do, I'll go back here. Hmm. I'll take this account. I'll copy paste here. Hmm? Okay, now I have loaded the data in temporary table also, right? Now what I will do, I will log off. Hmm? I have done. Now what I will do, I will rejoin again. So for that, what is the my ID? 9 for 11. Okay, this one. Hmm. That's a demo. That's a demo. And password is. Hmm. That's it. Now you see here. First, I will view the temporary table. What happened? Object stage color center tempo does not exist or